It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and for both of these teams that we're going to see, Charles, the future is kind of right now. You know, this is something you only see a handful of times in an NFL season where you... Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Alabama.
Tell you what, partner, he might just be a rookie, but he certainly looks the part of a veteran NFL starter, and he carries himself like one leading the offense out there. In a lot of ways, he is advanced as a first-year quarterback, and he came in and was right at home with this offense.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throw out wide to Walker, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back to Walker on first down. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on fourth down to punt this one away. This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Bears take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And out across midfield down to the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw is Williams. That's complete. Rome Odunze. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A pass complete to Odunze. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it's second down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Throwing is Williams. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Oh, looked like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a first down. Hoping for a 4th down stop. Instead, they flinch and move the chains.
Flinch, jump, not watching the ball. All the sins that you're not supposed to commit, they come into play there.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. In motion goes the tight end. This is Swift on the counter. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Williams. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. In motion, the tight end. They'll look to throw for it with Williams. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
So on fourth down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. A give for Walker running right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So the big gain, all for naught for the offense. That yellow flag is going to bring it back.
Oh, what a tough look for the offense because they see all that yardage lost and that ball's walked back. And then some behind the original line of scrimmage.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Noah Sewell there to make that play defensively.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On play action, they'll throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Up the middle, here's Walker. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball.
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And here he'll get it down to the 7. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a pickup of 6. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on second down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
In motion left is a running back. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. The RPO is such a big part of college football, Charles, and it continues to become a bigger part here at the next level, too.
And it also helps to have a rookie quarterback who comes out of that college game and is familiar with how to run it. So it works both ways. He knows what he's doing, and now it allows the coaches to call plays to get him comfortable early.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From the gun, here's Williams. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. To the air, Williams. And that is incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. On play action, here's Williams. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Here comes the Bears punter now. Back deep is Steven Sims. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 57 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
2nd and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Into space at the 45. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And some room to roam now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Back to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Montez Sweat able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Only 4 yards on that gain, but, you know, a lot of people would say that's like getting 9 in normal circumstances since this was 1st and 5.
Yeah, now your playbook's wide open here, 2nd and very short.
Yeah, I still don't think that you can count it in the stats that way at contract time.
No, it still goes down as 4, not 9. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And
now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Walker once more. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
One word comes to mind to me after that last play, and that's alert. That defense took a chance guessing the snap count, and they were so right. Got great push up front, and that forces 4th and goal.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. He was brought down there by Julian Love.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
To throw, Williams.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Off the play fake, it's Williams.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
They'll go play action here with Williams. Open man down the field. That's Odunze.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here's Williams.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Odunze.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 15 yards there for number 15.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
Looking to throw is Williams.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Second and 11. Forced out to his left. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Caleb Williams
taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Bears are once again back in front.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. This is Fant on the short completion. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down. But they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
They'll set up a throw. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And the Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Moore, the motion man right. To throw, it's Williams. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Here's Myers now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Throwing is Williams. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
2nd and 6. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Williams working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Play action. Now Williams. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Seahawks offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On third down, here's Walker. Shreds him with a stiff arm.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They go play action here on first down. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On the counter, it's Walker. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
2nd down and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
He completes this to Walker.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him. And he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
Working out of the gun, Williams.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively. You could almost see him going through the coaching points. Adjust, find the football, knock it away. Well executed.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
To the air, Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Bears' 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation.
Swift going to try up the middle.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now 2nd and 9.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
To throw, Williams. A pass complete to Adunze.
And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the 1st as he's dropped at the 46. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
130 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking. Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, Williams. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Back to throw. Williams. And his throw is incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a first down and then some. A 32-yard pickup.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A quick throw complete into the flat out left. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. On play action, here's Williams. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
Here's Williams.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense had Cooper Kupp making their way back out, and he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Going right back to Smith and Jigba.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On play action, they'll throw.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, but now it'll be 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Bears will get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Looking to throw is Williams.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Williams. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
The tight end in motion right.
To throw once more. Here's Williams.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 52 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming? And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
On the handoff, this is Swift.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Throwing is Williams.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game.
Santos' kick is up and through,
and now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Out of the gun, Walker with it.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a 1st-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the 1st down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here.
And that one complete downfield to Kupp.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Cooper Kupp, 38 yards. And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score. But bottom line, they are still on top with the football. And a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. To throw, it's Williams. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Moore, the motion man right.
Going quickly out wide to Moore. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They give to Johnson going right. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 42. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Now a give right side Swift.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
They'll run right here with Swift.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here's a handoff to Swift.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Now it's Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On 4th down, here's Williams.
It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.